and awkward silence appears, the kind we're always trying to avoid. Not long ago, I found myself in a similar situation. I was at a small gathering where I barely knew anyone. There was music, people talking, phones buzzing, and for most of the time, I stayed quiet. Not sad, nor uncomfortable. I was simply just listening. Then, out of nowhere, a girl approached me and asked, "Hey, are you okay? You hadn't said anything." And it's extremely strange how that simple comment changed the whole ambience. Because a minute ago, I was just fine, but now I'm overanalyzing everything. The way that I look, my facial expressions, my posture, how I'm being perceived by these people. Like my silence needed an explanation, and somehow I was failing some unspoken social rule. That made me wonder, why does silence scare a generation so much? Well, definitely not because it's boring, but because it's honest. Silence is where our thoughts show up without being invited. All those doubts and insecurities, it's where we can see the truest sides of people, the reactions and emotions of those we might think we know well. Distraction feels safer than listening to ourselves. And for many of us, being alone does not feel like rest. It feels like confrontation. Just look around during a school break. We finally get a moment of freedom after long, exhausting classes, and yet, no one rests. We tend to keep our heads down and phones up while conversations are happening but not really connecting. Somewhere along the way, silence stopped being neutral and became suspicious. And this fear does not exist alone. It grows in a culture that tells us something very specific. If you're not doing something, you're wasting time. Rest feels lazy, and doing nothing needs to be justified. Growing up, since I've always been quite shy, I was often told to try to open up more with people, be more expressive. And when I entered high school, I became aware of how visible my communication struggles were. So I tried to adapt. I positioned myself in social situations just as I saw other girls my age doing. And yes, all these plans and hangouts might have looked like progress at first. But in reality, I would return home feeling totally drained and overstimulated. After a while, I noticed that I did not feel the need to be surrounded all the time. Nowadays, I would rather getting a weird look from time to time than to be laughing at jokes that I don't even find funny and having these scripted conversations just to be seen. Because in our minds, being surrounded feels safer than being seen alone. And little by little, we stop feeling deeply, appreciating the small things of life. The problem isn't that our generation hates silence. Maybe we were just never taught how to sit with it, how to rest without feeling guilty, how to be alone without feeling ashamed, or how to exist without performing. And I know it's extremely hard, especially at our age, but we can start doing small things differently. Stop reaching for distraction the second you feel out of place. Let silence exist without rushing to fill it. And accept that not every pause needs to be productive. To me, silence, it's not emptiness, it's space. And learning how to be comfortable in that space might be one of the bravest things we can do. Thanks.